I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna take this video as any excuse to talk about Sleeping Dogs, because Sleeping Dogs is one of my favorite open world crime games of all time, and since going back to it across the last few days, it completely holds up. That game is brilliant. It should have got a sequel. It should never have been cancelled. United Front games should still be going, and I miss it. I miss the fact that it's not a big old franchise more and more. But that game, and it is pretty easy the whole way through. It's completely enjoyable. It's just made to be as fun as possible, from the martial arts, Arkham adjacent combat model to the overblown slow motion shooting and all the cover sliding and exploding cars and everything. That game does have a mission called Death by 1,000 Cuts, which there's like that, and there's a racing mission early on that just feel really, they needed to be play tested a hell of a lot more than they were. The racing mission takes like 25 minutes. It's just so stupidly long. It's this like supercar race that you do right near the beginning, and it's optional, but it goes on and on and on for ages. Death by 1,000 Cuts, though, is the one where you have to take out 30 goons with a golden butcher knife, and it's just, that game's combat, for as good and as fun as enjoyable as it is, completely falls apart when more than, let's say, 2 people are attacking you at once, because mistiming the counter button just means that Way sort of stands there and like, you've mistimed it, so the game needs to let you know that you've got something wrong, all the while you're being attacked by dudes with knives that can finish you off in a few seconds, and there's all this sort of potential for overlapping animations in regards to either you delivering the killing blow or them delivering the killing blow, and because of the sheer length of time that it takes to wipe out 30 dudes, the general consensus online is that people have just taken to throwing a knife, picking up another knife, throwing, running, evading, throwing and running, in a way that just feels like you're completely cheesing the mission to get through it. All of the Sleeping Dogs fans, I remember everybody talking about it back in the day, back in like 2012 or whenever that game came out, but going back through it and going back to that level, it's still the same in the definitive edition, or about that mission rather, and it's yeah, it's just kind of some cheap old BS that I feel like they wanted to throw in because every now and then a developer wants to do the whole old school challenge thing, but in this game's case, it's a big old penis. So just play some Sleeping Dogs, maybe don't do the optional side mission Death by 1,000 Cuts, and you too can enjoy one of the best crime open world sandbox games of all time. To be honest, it's just brilliant, apart from that mission.
Right, so I know this is possibly going a little bit off script with this one, as technically it's a stage rather than a level as such, but Wall Guys from Fall Guys Season 2 can get in the goddamn moat. I hate that stage with a passion because it is deceivingly simple. All we gotta do is get from the start to the finish by climbing walls. Sounds easy, right? Wrong, because standing in your way are not only like 59 other contestants, but also you've got to move these goddamn little blocks in the way in order to climb up the wall, and you are piloting what can only be described as a drunk asshole. I love Fall Guys. I was going to say Fallout. I love that as well. I love Fall Guys. I love what Season 2 has done. But Wall Guys, man, you are breaking me. You are breaking my balls.
So recently, I've been going through the entire God of War series because I've been wanting to build up to replaying God of War 2018 for a while now, and as a sneaky little confession, I've never properly played the original trilogy. They just weren't for me back in the day, but I want it to go back to see what the crack was, and to be honest, they're really bloody good. Number 3 is just excellent. That might be a hot take, just firing everything off in this video, but yeah, they're great games. I've had such a fun time, with the exception of every single puzzle in God of War 1. Every single time you stop fighting in that game and have to climb something or jump over some spikes or walk across a little beam to your death, it just absolutely sucks and is a drag, because the game itself isn't hard. I was thinking it was going to be a Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry sort of tough as nails thing, but the combat itself is, really very fun and a huge spectacle, but not all that difficult. But the game comes to a grinding halt every single time you do one of these puzzles, and the absolute dirt worst comes towards the end when you need to climb this wall of rotating spikes. And you have to do it like 2 or 3 times. And honestly, it must have taken me about 2 hours to just get through this entire section, because I kept dying and dying and dying, and I'd jump up and I'd get hit by the spikes, and I'd try to slowly Spider-Man my way up there, and I'd get hit by the spikes, and I'd get impatient, I'd just try to rush through it and get hit by the spikes every single time. It just felt so finicky and so unfair and so infuriating that I think I annoyed every single person in the apartment building in which I live, because I was fuming, absolutely fuming at this game because I just wanted it to end. I was so close towards the end of the game. And this puzzle was just kicking my ass, and I was praying to the God of War himself. I was thinking, Kratos, you big muscly man, just smash these spikes in. Just do it for me. You've taken down like so many bad dudes. In a few games time, you're gonna take down Kronos, who is like the biggest dude in the world. There's just spikes, there's little metal spikes on the side of a rotating pillar. Just find another way. Just get Google Maps up. Be like, oi, how do I get out of hell in a way that doesn't take me down this route of spiky little boys? And then that's all you needed to do. But you couldn't do that because this was like 15 years ago in God of War 1. So I had to suffer through that, and that was awesome. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. Even the memory of it rages inside me like the fires of hell itself. That I could kick the arse of Hades right now if I wanted to. I could take down Zeus. I could become the God of War out of the pure rage from that stupid puzzle.
So the hardest level in an otherwise, I would say, a relatively easy game has to be Rainbow Road in Mario Kart. It's the only level in any of the Mario Kart games that I just hate. I always hate Rainbow Road because I've never been able to do it well. I've never enjoyed Rainbow Road, apart from it being spectacularly beautiful and pretty and colourful and sparkly. I just hate it. It's a demon in disguise. It's the devil in disguise. It's, oh, look at me, I'm all beautiful and pretty, and you get all excited, especially like when you first experience Rainbow Road for the first time and you're like, oh, it's so pretty and beautiful, and then you realise that, you know, you can fall off the edge pretty much constantly. I know that they say there's like invisible walls and you can't just fall straight off the edge, but that has to be a lie, because I always fall off the edge in Rainbow Road, like constantly falling off the edge. They're like falling off bits that I shouldn't be falling off, and I don't know if it's just me. I know that Rainbow Road is sort of well known as being a difficult level anyways, but it just seems like there's people that just seem to breeze through it no matter what, and then there's people like me that just fail at it miserably. Like, I'm not just like, oh, I can get through it, but I might be like, you know, 7th or 5th or whatever. No, I'm always like dead last, if not being overtaken by the people at the beginning again, because I just can't do it. I just can't figure it out. I don't understand how you're supposed to do Rainbow Road and do it well, let alone win. I can't understand it. I don't know where these invisible barriers are supposed to be, because if there is some, I have never hit any of them. I've apparently managed to get between that little margin of where there is no invisible barrier, and I'm just constantly falling off, getting spun out, getting hit by things, and I mean 90% of me playing Rainbow Road is me just falling off of Rainbow Road and then just getting angry and sitting there and just not playing it at all and just letting people just overtake me, because what's the point? It makes me really question everything.